The thorn that grew from the concrete. Get his shit, yells a strong male voice. Crook. Young Peace grabs the guy, Mill, laying on the ground's chain. Mill lies on the ground bloody and bruised. A couple of weeks later, Young Peace is out with his baby mother, Stacy, at the corner store. Get a tea for little man, says Young Peace to Stacy. A second later, Mill runs in with a group of his boys. Mill and his boys start jumping Young Peace. Get off of him, screams Stacy. One of Mill's friends pushes Stacy to the ground. Young Peace continues getting punched and kicked by multiple hands and feet. His blood begins to drip on the floor. Back up, says Mill to his boys. Mill's boys back away from Young Peace. Get up, lil nigga, says Mill with bass in his voice to Young Peace. Young Peace struggles to get up. Once up, he stares Mill in his eyes. I'm willing to die about mine, says Young Peace with a straight face. Mill pulls out a knife and stabs Young Peace in the chest and stomach. Young Peace lies in a hospital in a coma for months. Crook comes into his room. I know you can hear me. I've been hitting Stacy. By the way, she's carrying my seed. We've been homies since the jungle bars, but I've convinced Dukes to pull the plug. One last confession, I sent Mill your location. Love you, lil homie. Rest up, says Crook. Crook leaves. Stacy and Young Peace's mother comes into the room to say their goodbyes. They leave and the doctor and nurse come in to pull the plug. As he reaches to turn off the life support machine, Young Peace opens his eyes. Young Peace pays off the doctor and nurse not to tell anyone he's alive. Months pass. The smell of sand, fresh air and salt water fill the air as Young Peace lies on the beach on an island. The thorn that grew from the concrete. 5 years later, Young Peace is in his Jeep listening to his hometown's radio station. A beloved woman in the neighborhood was just gunned down in her home today. It's sad. She lost her son to gang violence 5 years ago and now this, says the radio personality. Young Peace whips his car around and speeds down the road. The thorn that grew from the concrete.